beautiful people. So bringing in more tarot love and tarot wisdom, I suppose, or just plain life wisdom, whatever you want to call it. We can always relate it to symbols and tarot cards. Buy some water here. I thought I'd hang out here by the water. I got this reverse 10 of cups, and just brought up a few stories which I love to share my ideas about. First of all, the first thing that came into my mind was that a lot of people I do readings with or do coaching with are naturally a little bit scared of some of the darker cards, of which there are many in the tarot, of course, and some of those stories that seem a little bit challenging. And we've all got our own personal nemesis of a card, maybe, and we've all got the one that triggers us a little bit more, and it might not be the obvious one, it might be slightly different. This for me is one of those when this is reversed, because it triggers things that are a little bit close to home, about not connecting to this full 10 love, home, family, completion, embracing. And when I get this card, it asks me, so why Marcus, why aren't you open to love in its fullest extent? Why aren't you ready to open your heart and really experience the purest level of joy, or the highest level of joy that you're capable of? What's the story there? What are you resisting? What do you need to turn around? What's upside down in your head, Marcus, that stops you from really experiencing this? And so this is a challenging card for that reason. And I'm never complacent to believe, yes, I love myself completely, or I'm living the fullest of highest of vibrational lives in that I can. No, I am very conscious of how much work I still have to do, and how much growth there is ahead of me. But this is a story about love, and this is a story about the emotions of our hearts, and how we don't often take time out to question whether we're even open enough to take that 10th cup, to embrace that feeling of pure connectedness and that idea of home. This is, there's the kind of stereotypical family, but with the rainbow of water and sun together, creating that rainbow. It's like the light beaming upon the fullest of joys that we are celebrating. And this, in one level, the 10 represents when we find our home. And our home isn't necessarily a place. It's not something that we make. It's not a house with people in it, although it can be represented by that. It's more where we feel like we can be seen, where we feel safe enough to open up, where we feel safe to feel everything that comes into our life without criticism, without judgment, without fear without fear at all. And that's a rarity. That's a rarity when we can surround ourselves with enough of the right people to really trust our own reactions and trust the reactions of others, and feel safe enough to be completely open-hearted, and to be in a space surrounded by a set of people who want the best for us, to the point who are perfectly or wonderfully reflecting what loving us looks like, and we are also reflecting what loving them looks like back to them. And loving them looks like this, and loving you looks like this, and surrounding ourselves with this this energy, or finding what would be your clan, your family, your real family, and those that are kindred spirits and kindred souls for you to share your life with. This is where we find what we might call our soul family. We find what we might feel like is a feeling of home. In the end, in the bigger picture, I was journaling about this, and in the bigger picture, the home story, or, our real home isn't in this world. Our real home doesn't belong in the 3D dimension, and where we've come from and where we're heading back to is the energy of the divine connection and spirit, and that's not really of this world. And yet there's a paradox of us really seeking it out here, seeking that paradise out here. We're kind of destined never exactly to find it, but to find reflections and mirrors of it. And it's not something out there, because it's not out there to be found. It's in here to be found. And when we find it, we realize, wow, it's always been there, I suppose. I mean, this is the sort of the teachings of many more wise spiritual teachers than I am. And I can repeat their words without knowing this truth, because it feels right. And finding this home, and our journey to find this home, is a journey of loving ourselves more and more. We're very confused as a society about what loving ourselves really is, about what looking after ourselves really are. And we have a lot of very strong preconceived ideas and belief systems in place that promote actions and promote reactions to life that are not healthy at all. And so when this card comes up, it's about questioning, hey, how can we tip the scales, and how can we really appreciate ourselves so greatly? How can we practice that appreciation through daily actions that fortify those beliefs that we are wonderful, we are love, that we have come here to share love and to be love, to express it, and to share a huge amount of joy. Yes, we've come to cry, and we've come to feel all the range of emotions, but we're naturally going to be drawn into those feelings too, and this is definitely part of the completion of the set of cups, of the emotional repertoire that we have come here as to experience, as life wants us to. But love, connection, finding that space where we can feel connected to the world is utterly important. And there's going to be areas of the world where we don't feel naturally connected, where there's going to be people in the world that we see, on the news, on our screens in some way or another, that we don't relate to at all, and we don't even want to relate to, but we're all human trying to find this same journey. And there's going to be what Carlos Castaneda's Don Juan called at one time many petty tyrants that that are going to challenge us and trigger us and give us an emotional reaction which teaches us what we are missing in order to find this self-love and to walk this path of self-love with more integrity and honesty. Anyway, some musings upon the 10 of Cups reversed. Have a wonderful life, everyone, and love to hear your comments about finding love and expressing it and sharing it, and whatever that means to you. Take care.